Is writing your novels a pleasure or a drudgery?
Pleasure and agony, while composing the book in my mind. Harrowing irritation when strolling with my tools and viscera, the pencil that needs resharpening, the card that has to be rewritten, the bladder that has to be drained, the word that I always misspell and always have to look up. Then the labor of reading the typescript prepared by a secretary, the correction of my major mistakes and her minor ones, transferring corrections to other copies, misplacing pages, trying to remember something that had to be crossed out or inserted, repeating the process when proofreading, unpacking the radiant, beautiful, plump advance copy, opening it and discovering a stupid oversight committed by me, allowed by me to survive. After a month or so, I get used to the book's final stage, to its having been weaned from my brain. I now regard it with a kind of amused tenderness, as a man regards not his son, but rather the young wife of his son.
What you're seeing is a box that just came from St. Petersburg. We recently had an exhibition there in Nabokov Museum in St. Petersburg. You see actually quite a large installation piece, but it is, as you see, packed and the box is not that large. It is an installation made of tulle. Tulle is a transparent fabric. We're using, it comes in all colors, but we're using black and white, the original material. And I guess everyone knows it as a sort of theater material. And the tutu skirts are made of this. But we're excited about something else. This material can be layered, and the more layers you use, the darker it gets. Where the dark is where the black is extremely dark, then it means meters and meters of fabric. But in fact, with all this potential of layering and shades of grey, it's extremely light. It's very lightweight. What you're seeing here in this box is kind of enough material to cover 3 relatively large rooms in this museum. And what we're interested in, these are basically episodes that are kind of unrelated. They're our idiosyncratic impressions of Berlin that we, by recreating them in this black and white material, we are building kind of an associative commentary and our very personal way of experiencing Berlin and talking to Nabokov. Comparing Berlin of the 20s and Berlin of today. And we discovered that there is a lot in common between these 2 Berlins. We chose several images that are important to us, but we then of course discovered that they were also quite important for Nabokov. For example, the tram, the streetcar, and what we want to create an illusion of kind of a street graffiti, maybe a drawing that was drawn directly on the wall. We are, for instance, quite interested in the fact that Nabokov wrote his texts in pencil. We are very interested in that because the question of erasure, not just drawing, but I guess it makes his texts appear very much like drawings. We're very interested in that. And we use a lot of similar, I guess, this aspect of drawing and erasing is very important to us, even though what you're seeing has nothing to do with drawing. It's actually all made of this fabric, and it's held together, it's sewn together with the transparent thread. It kind of starts looking like a drawing. It's sort of, we play with this notion of illusion, you know, but it is really not what you think it is, and that's something that interests us because I think yeah, this aspect of magic, or this aspect of transformation of something that you're not quite sure what you are experiencing or seeing, or rather that you get to know what it is only by coming close and looking at it and having this other discovering it. And we're interested in a lot of associations that the audience might have, the viewer might have, by looking at it. We like the fact that this material is very weightless, it doesn't have a body to it, and because of that, to us it reminds very much of a projection. For us it's a film. It's probably kind of, it sounds kind of odd to name something that's been sewn a film, but it is a film for us because it consists of episodes, and the episodes are separate. Like each part exists for it, just like you see here, exists for its own good. You can rearrange them, and this is what we wanted to do. We wanted to bring a little bit of Berlin, the way we experience it, the way we connected to Nabokov's Berlin, to bring it back to the house where Nabokov lived and was born, and we felt like this was a beautiful place to show this work and to think about the concept of traveling, because this work is a traveling kind of work. It can change, it can move. Maybe the black and whiteness of the piece is a commentary on memory, because the way we would experience 1920s or 30s would be through black and white photography or through black and white documentary films. And in fact, just like lots of we've experienced it, that many young kids ask such a question as, like, did you live in a world that was black and white, or was it already colored? So for us, the 1920s is definitely black and white, but the images that we are kind of collecting, it's very much a collection of images, are contemporary Berlin. None of them are historical, even the trams and the same chairs. And in fact, the reactions towards this exhibition was rather interesting to us, because it was our first exhibition in St. Petersburg. We didn't know what to expect, and we deliberately chose not a contemporary art context, but rather a literary context, and because this piece was connected to Nabokov. And it was interesting that a lot of people reacted to it as if it wasn't Berlin at all. It was, for them, it was St. Petersburg, in fact. And for us, it was interesting, because we see that even when Nabokov is writing about other cities, he is in an odd way writing about St. Petersburg. And it was interesting for us to do, and but then again, it's a personal view. It's not an illustrative way of talking about Nabokov. It's just this very kind of particular way we feel how contemporary some of his ideas and some of the images that he noticed in the city still are. This is something that fascinates us, and we love to continue exploring places in Berlin that somehow have to do with Nabokov. We'd love to do that.
Is it true in your experience that a first love affair is unmatchable?
I might have said that when I was 16.
You've written of yourself as, I quote, looking out from my present ridge of remote, isolated, almost uninhabited time. Why uninhabited?
Well, for the same reason that a desert island is a more deserving island than one with a footprint initialing its beach. Moreover, uninhabited makes direct sense here, since most of my former companions are gone.